A massive thank you to Matt, WR Blue, Simrig Racing, Blake, F1 Snippets, and Toshiro for subscribing to the channel. If you're already featured in these clips, make sure you subscribe down below. Hello everyone and welcome back guys to round 19 of Season 7 of the F1 2021 My Team Career Mode. Yesterday we're here back for the Mexican Grand Prix. Of course, if you missed out on the video that went live yesterday, where we jumped back in on F1 22, I would highly recommend going back and checking that video out. Of course, yeah, massive thank you to all of you guys that have shown support on that video as well. And of course, yeah, if you want to go check out as well the podcast that'll be going live a little later on tomorrow evening, yeah, definitely would recommend doing that as well. But of course as well, a massive thank you to all of you guys for the continued support on the channel. 52k, we've smashed that now, well on our way towards 53,000 subscribers. It just seems mind-blowing. Like I said, every video at the moment we seem to either be getting close to the next milestone or we've ticked one off here. But yeah, back in Mexico this weekend. If you missed out the video from Kota last time around, that actually went live, I think it was Saturday, sorry, even if I remember correctly. You know, we sort of got lost in the Azerbaijan GP weekend. Yeah, definitely recommend going back and checking that one out. A brilliant dogfight between myself and George Russell. However, Mercedes have brought some engine upgrades for us this weekend, so that is exactly what we need. We've also had confirmation Lando Norris is going to be retiring from Formula 1 at the end of the year there, so very surprised to be seeing that from Lando Norris. But yeah, having a look then at the championship, we've first of all got now a completely maxed out car on F1 2021. There are no more upgrades that Mercedes can give us. This is as good as this game will get between now and the end of the year there. Championship-wise, though, gap at the top down to just 27 points at the moment between myself and George Russell. George has been on a really good run of form over the last couple of races. Of course, the last race we won was back at Singapore a couple of weekends ago there. Red Bull have also got a 61-point lead in the Constructors' Championship, but it is now just a 3-car battle for the title. It'll either be myself or one of those Red Bulls that lifts the Drivers' Championship crown come the end of the year. We've got to do everything within our power to make sure it's us, so let's get into it then here from Mexico. Right, so here we go then. Thanks to Mercedes, the last couple of upgrades applied to the car. I don't think it's going to make much difference to the way the car feels, but fingers crossed, you know, even if it's just another sort of tenth or two in the back pocket, this could be absolutely critical between ourselves and Red Bull come the end of the championship. You know, we need Verstappen trying to fight as well against his former team, but I mean, look at that on the Delta. Immediately, well over a second clear at the end of the first straightaway there. Surely now, this should be a nice tidy purple score as we head round the final corner. Yeah, just taking the rest of the lap nice and easy there to make sure we get the purple score. Few more R&D points to add to the pile. Around in the final couple of corners then of our qualifying simulation run. We are going to cut this one a bit fine, but it is still going to be the green score. No, it's even going to be purple. Let's get into qualifying then. Fingers crossed we can put this thing right towards the front. Formula 1 is finally back in 2022, and now you can rep your favourite teams. Of course, using the F1 store, every team now has merch lineups available, whether you're an Aston Martin fan, a Williams fan, Mercedes, Ferrari, Red Bull. The choice is completely up to you. But yeah, check out the F1 merch store down below for all the official releases from all of the teams. And of course, as always, if you use our links as well, you massively help support the channel. So yeah, give it a look and see if there's anything you like. Right, well here we are then, back in beautiful sunny Mexico here, right in the heart of Mexico City. Ooh, nonetheless, ready for Saturday's qualifying action here. Going to start our first run on Q2 on the mediums, but again, a bit like the last few races, you know, this season, it was kind of wildly unpredictable early on. Then Red Bull and ourselves are kind of dominating for quite a few weeks. Mexico this weekend could be a track that's wildly unpredictable once more. There was actually, I think, Lando Norris who went fastest in Q1. Of course, perhaps wants to leave F1 with a bang come the end of the year. Don't know if he's just wanted to focus on, say, like a LMPH program or something like that down the line. But yeah, Lando Norris just had enough. Doesn't want to be sat at AlphaTauri over the next few years. Yeah, a bit disappointed to see, but I mean, this is the final season of F1 2021 career mode anyway, so not going to make much difference. Yeah, struggling a little bit to try and put grip through these tyres there as we head through the S's. trying to keep it clean and tidy and also pinned. Oh! A little bit of wobbling around there as we head towards the end of the section. You get away with it as Lando Norris again goes fastest onto a 1:12.1. But yeah, I mean, AlphaTauri, Mercedes, even Antonio Giovinazzi in FP1 there are right on the money as we head out the final corner. This is not going to be a representative lap time, and no, it's definitely not. It's a 13.5. That's all. Right, let's go for a proper lap then on a fresh set of the soft compound tyres. Fingers crossed now. He's trying to look towards those 1-minute 11s again. I think, yeah, Q1 we set, I think it was a 12.2. And looks like Verstappen as well is, I mean, he was fast the last couple of races in in Q1. And then kind of just falls away later on as qualifying continues. So that's a fair amount of curb through turn 1, I think we can safely say. Got to try and ride those curbs through the first couple of corners. But that's what I love to see immediately there. Near enough 6/10 up at just one braking zone. Purple through the first sector as well. I mean, we should be purple through there. This thing an absolute missile down the straight still. Crossed as we head through the S's. We can just try and keep it a bit tidier than we did last time round there. I'm just finding pace as the lap unfolds. 1.3 seconds up now as we head down in through sector 3 there. Attack those curbs. Get the car rotated into the hairpin. Pretty nice and tidy there. Avoid any wheel spin on the exit. You've just got so much extra grip on these tyres. Bit of a mistake at the final corner, but it is going to be a 1:11 then. That's going to be an 11.9 there. Doesn't put us fastest, but just a couple of tenths away from Sergio Perez, but that should be enough to see us into Q3. And there we go then, the end of Q2. George Russell fastest on a 1:11.6, but we were only 2 tenths away down in P5 there. Like I said, the AlphaTauri, Lando Norris and Antonio Giovinazzi looking very, very racy here. Charles Leclerc, though, again out in Q2. And Yuki Tsunoda joining him there, so that's quite a big surprise as Esteban Ocon squeezes by into Q3. Haven't seen that too often in this series. But yeah, let's get into Q3 then. We need a really on-it lap here if we want to try and put this thing right up towards the front. We've got a surprise pole at USA. Can we repeat that here? Right, back to start our first lap then here in Q3. I mean, if we get a completely nailed up one, I don't think those times that Russell and Perez are setting are certainly, they are definitely beatable here by the end of qualifying. I mean, we lost a good tenth or so through the final corner alone last time around, and if we're just aggressive around the rest of the lap, you know, we can afford to take big risks here in Q3. Of course, we have still got the lead of the championship as well, as long as I don't do what I did a couple of seasons ago here in Mexico and throw it away right at the very final lap. So we've actually had quite a few decent late race battles around this venue in the past. It's coming towards the end of Sector 1. Not quite matching my Q2 time there, but not bad as Sight sets the pace. That's not a pace that's going to stay the benchmark for long. Antonio Giovinazzi down on towards a 12.3. Not quite what the Italian was hoping for, but not bad either. So we'll just try and get the car tipped in through the final couple of turns. Get the car over the curbs nicely, but keep the back end planted as well as round the final corner we go. Up towards the line then. There we go, George Russell 11.9. We are going to go just a couple of tenths away there on a 12.1.
There's only one lap of fuel remaining.
This is definitely going to come down, though, to those final laps, because we are not far away, and there was definitely a few micro errors on that lap. Right, everyone out then on their final laps here in Mexico, but we need to absolutely get this one dialed in. As you can see, a few other people have gone quicker, so Russell down to P3 then at this stage of the session. But yeah, we need to bring out some sweat mode, I feel, on this final lap here of qualifying here in Mexico. Longest run out of the final corner. And let's just see what we can muster up then here. We need to try and find at least sort of a couple of tenths. We should see, though, if anyone improves up the roads, then we'll know what time we've got to try and chase on this final lap. But 215 miles an hour there as we head down towards turn 1. Commit to the brakes at about the 100 metre board there as we take a lot of curb through turn 1. And don't really ride the power particularly well out of turn 2 and turn 3. But we are up in the green. That's the most important thing. Topping that again at well over 200 before you spot the 100 metre board down at turn 4 there. Again, taking way too much curb on the way in. Just trying to keep the throttle in. Tip it in, though, to the S's. This is where you've got to be brave, but try and keep the back end in check as well here. You just try and dance the car between the curbs. Not the best run on the exit, but we're still 2 tenths up as we head now down in towards the final sector. And there we go, attack that curb nicely. That's what we lost out on our last run there, but just not getting the tidy run that we need through the stadium section there. It's all a bit scrappy as the lap starts to unfold. At the final corner, though, up towards the line. We are going to improve by another 1/10.5, but it's only good, I think, for the second row on the grid. I want to say it's P4 there. Not bad, but not perfect.
And with qualifying complete, let's review our top three today. Verstappen, Perez, and George Russell. With qualifying wrapped up, we now have our grid lineup for the big race tomorrow. Be sure to join us then for what will no doubt be a fantastic race.
Well, there we go then. Max Verstappen always gone well around Mexico in the past, and today he's put it on pole here. Is this finally the weekend where Max Verstappen brings his A-game once more? They're out qualifying his former teammate Sergio Perez. George Russell and myself will start on row 2 as the main championship protagonists, and we'll both be trying to get a draft off each other's teammates as we head down towards turn 1 here. But this could be a critical race in the championship. The gap 27 points. Let's get it here in Mexico. This channel is proudly sponsored by Bybit, the official crypto partner of Red Bull's Formula 1 team. I've been using their platform for my personal crypto savings over the last few months, and when they got in touch to support the channel, I was super excited. Currently, they're offering you guys a special new promo for the first 100 of you to deposit $10 or more onto the platform. You'll get another $10 free. Also, 5 lucky winners will get their initial deposit doubled up to $1,000. That means if you deposited $1,000 onto the platform using my codes below, you could be within a chance to get another $1,000 completely free. We've seen the landscape around crypto drastically change over the last couple of years, and I genuinely believe it holds an important place in our future. However, please be careful as always when trading, as you are liable to lose money. But if you're interested and you're 18 or older, click the link down below to get started and see why Red Bull and myself, as well as thousands of others, trust Bybit as their crypto.
Here we go then, it's time to race in Mexico City, a place which gave Honda their first ever victory back in 1965. American Richie Ginther won from third on the grid. And what are the Honda-powered cars this year? Well, Red Bull have been going strong here in recent seasons, so can they keep that record going today? We're a long way above sea level here in Mexico today, which could pose some cooling issues for the cars as they make their way around this 2.6-mile lap. 17 corners with top speeds in excess of 220 miles per hour, and watch out for potential overtaking into turns 1 and 4. Anthony Davidson joins me once again in the commentary box, and it's fantastic to have you with us here today, but I'm curious, as a man with experience out on the track, how do you stop those pre-race nerves from becoming overwhelming when you're lining up on the grid?
From the moment qualifying's over, you start to feel the adrenaline in your body build up and the buzz in your stomach as you anticipate the run down into turn 1. It's all a bit like going into battle, and the unknown situation makes you nervous. Those pre-race nerves are a good thing. The day you don't have them means that you don't care anymore. And of course, you have to make sure that all the procedures are second nature to you so that they're not taking up too much of your capacity.
It's time to take a look at our starting grid for today's race. Max Verstappen put in a fantastic lap yesterday, and he starts from pole position. Sergio Perez lines up alongside. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Russell, Mr. Monaco, Lance Stroll and Ricciardo, Giovinazzi, Norris, Sainz and Esteban Ocon, Leclerc, Joe, Yuki Tsunoda and Bottas, Mazepin, Aitken, Mick Schumacher and Nicholas Latifi, Lundgaard, Eilert, Giotto and Robert Schwartzman. It's almost time for those 5 red lights to go out. Then let's see who can prevail today.
With 5 races remaining, we're still in with a chance of taking the Constructors' Championship. The team need a result from you today.
Well, we've been the one giving results all year. It's Verstappen they should be sending that radio message to. But here we are then, on the grid for the final... Is this... No, I'm not 100% sure this is the final Mexican Grand Prix we'll do on F1 2021. It's so weird trying to work out where the Williams RTG goes. It every week seems to throw me off. Mexico, though, as always, soft, medium, soft is the way to go around this venue. You know, you want that little bit of extra pace right towards the end of the Grand Prix. And, of course, safety cars, very much a possibility as well around this venue. But George Russell alongside us, Perez and Verstappen just in front. I want to see the Dutchman. and I never thought I'd see this day, but I want to see the Dutchman win a Grand Prix here. Could he be our 9th winner of the year? Waiting on those 5 red lights, though, here in Mexico. And it is going to be a very long hole, but lights out, and away we go. And, of course, the huge run down towards turn 1 normally means we're going to struggle there, as Stroll immediately slots in front of us. We got cars trying to go left, right, and centre. So we head down towards turn 1, and Lando Norris moving around the braking zone. I did not have any confidence there. We've got to play the long game in this one today. We cannot afford to take any risks there. It's all Perez and Russell already starting to get a little bit feisty with each other through the first couple of corners. Maybe they're both told, you know, you both still got a shot at that championship. You just got to do what you got to do there. As Perez does hold on to P2 at the moment as well. We tried to have a look around the outside of Giovinazzi. Ricciardo, I'm guessing, just got squeezed on the apex there, because we will sweep back around the outside of the Australian as we head down through Sector 2. Lap 1, cold rubber, cold brakes, cold tyres, everything like that. Yeah, lack of confidence as well as we head through there. As you can just see Giovinazzi and that Alpine, as I reckon Russell might have damage here. As look at that, Lando Norris up the inside in towards the final sector. George Russell has definitely got damage here, so we're going to try and pick up the pieces as well. As George not wanting to back out of this one just yet. So we'll go around the outside of Gio and Sir Lance through the final couple of corners there. So making up places. Russell's going to dive into the pit there. So that is catastrophic for one of the big championship protagonists here. That could give us a huge swing in the championship if Russell can't fight his way back through today. And in the end, with all of that on that one, means we didn't lose anything. We didn't gain anything either. Top 2 remain the same. Lando Norris up into P3 by the end of lap 1 there. I think from 6th or 7th even, I want to say, on the grid. Yeah, we still hang on to P4 though as we head out onto the second straightaway here on lap 2. And yeah, well, a heartbreaking start for George Russell. Like I said, I saw those Red Bulls get pretty close, but maybe we've got some Red Bull civil war at the moment. And now we, oh hello, I've got to try and make a move work past Lando. Right, starting lap 3 then, DRS enabled here in Mexico. Can we try and get a run on Lando Norris as we head back down towards turn 1? I'm sure Red Bull will be telling him to defend with all his worth there. As all Lando Norris just a little bit parking it in the road through the first chicane. Can we try and get a slingshot out of the first sector? That AlphaTauri has always got pretty good traction on corner exits there, as I think about how to look up the inside. But of course DRS has now been enabled here in Mexico, so if we can't do the move this time around, which it's not looking like we will, we've just got to try and keep it calm, keep it cool. Like I said, Russell's down at turn 1 at the moment, so we've got a huge potential swing in the championship today. I mean, we could leave here if we won this race and George didn't score. We could leave with a 2-race victory margin, and inside 4 rounds to finish off the year, that might leave us pretty peachy. That being said though, trying to leave with the race victory might be quite difficult if Perez and Verstappen are going to romp away as quickly as they are and as early as they are here, starting lap 4.
Actively conserving fuel, please.
Jeff, I refuse to save the fuel as we now got the run on Lando back down towards someone. You're bouncing towards the rev limit at 12,500 RPM. The engine's screaming as we get back down towards that first corner there, and Lando Norris, I think, tried to play the aggression game, and we're just going to match it there. Hook it up around the outside through the first couple of turns. We've got yellow flags out. Someone's got issues. That's Daniel Ricciardo pulling to the wayside here, so I think the Australian is going to be out of this Mexican Grand Prix there. And is that going to be a safety car quite early on here? George Russell, I'm sure, will be absolutely praying that it is.
Okay,
and yes, it is. No Ocon out as well.
Is negative, which means you are too fast. Reduce your pace.
So 2 mechanical failures in one go then. Ocon and Ricciardo both dropping to the wayside here, and George Russell has been given a lifeline. I don't think it's worth pitting though. We're still too early in the race. Oh, here we go. Verstappen stays out, but Perez does pit then at the end of lap 4, so I wonder if he was told just do whatever Max doesn't in this Grand Prix. And it does mean now 2-2 Motorsport have got a 1-2 here in the Grand Prix, but both Red Bulls are going to be right towards the rear of the field, and they're not a particularly quick car down the straight. I say that. Oh no, Perez is going to come out in traffic. That's beautiful for us. We have now been given an absolute invitation to try and not only get a big lead in the driver's title once more, but also get a pretty, make a sizable dent in Red Bull's Constructors' Championship. There's Ricciardo's stricken car. I think Ocon's has already disappeared. Lap 6 then, safety car coming in at the end of this one. And now we got Perez and Russell way out of position, but what do we do? about Max Verstappen. I'll have to wait and see whether he's got the pace early on off the restart here, but we cannot afford to do what the Red Bulls did earlier on in the GP here, as I'm sure Verstappen probably going to bolt it out of the final corner. Let's just wait and see. No, our teammate really trying to hold off. There he goes at the final turn, and now we've got to try and do a bit of a flying formation back down towards turn 1 here, as we've got a Mercedes in the pits. No idea why I've lost the ability to speak here, as here comes Lando Norris down around the outside in towards the first corner. Is he going to be able to make the move work? I think that's a swift no. I'm not going to allow him to try and ruin this 2-1-2 stronghold here. Like I said, we've only had 2 1-2 finishes all year there. Pun definitely intended. Of course, back at the season opener in Sakir, that seems like a whole long time ago now. And of course, Singapore just a few races ago. I'd love to try and make it a third of the year, but yeah, I mean, if neither Red Bull scored as well, that would throw the Constructors' Championship wide open once more. I've been a bit gutted with the way Verstappen has delivered this year, but if he can redeem it late on, all will be forgiven. Look at that end of lap 7. Lando Norris already over 2 seconds behind there, as George Russell's into the pits again. It is turning into an absolute nightmare weekend for George Russell, as he's into the pits for the 2nd time in 8 laps here. Did he just crash into the back of a Haas car or one of the Alfa Romeos or something like that? I don't really know, but he is it just goes from bad to worse for him. He's been given a lifeline, and it's completely gone up in the wind. And as we get ready to start lap 10 then here in Mexico at the moment, it's just flying formation between myself and our Dutch teammate. We're not trying to put him under too much pressure, but we're not trying to just let him break away too easily either. And I'm really not too sure what to do now the DRS has been enabled. We should get a huge overspeed on it, but I mean, we're pulling away a good half a second over Lando each lap there. Luckily, I think we're going to be clean ahead of Max by the time we get back down towards turn 1. They're approaching speeds of 220 miles an hour in towards that first turn, but we hang on for now. And let's just hope, yeah, that I don't want to screw the Dutchman in any way here, but I mean, we definitely need the win, but I think so does he, to be honest. But yeah, at the moment though, 1-2 is all we could ever ask for. As the team want us in at the end of this one, I'm tempted just to extend the stint by a couple of laps and sort of let Verstappen box first. Right, end of lap 11. Are we going to see Max box at the end of this one? Hopefully so, because I want to try and box end of lap 12. And if he doesn't, we've got to just keep going until he does. There we go. Dutchman into the pit stand at the end of lap 11, so that's gone pretty much as planned. And he shouldn't, with a bit of luck, get held up either. It is going to be. We're going to have Zhou Guanyu back up into the podium places here. First time we've seen that since Monza. That, I think, was such an underrated and obscure performance by Zhou Guanyu, but I'd love to see that sort of fighting form back in the future. 1 lap later then, the end of lap 12. We are going to be boxing in then for our first pit stop of the Grand Prix. Rear tyres just starting to let go a little bit here. It's just the key that we keep them all in good nick. There we go. Plenty of time as we get down into the pit lane here, as I think Verstappen is trying to make a move work on one of the Alfa Romeos there. So trying to put his cars between himself and the other drivers behind. Zhou Guanyu is going to inherit the lead then here in Mexico. And oh, I can't believe I bottled that. A 1.9 second stop from the team is absolutely incredible here. And I think we should be ahead of Verstappen. He's going to be close actually on pit exit here, so we're going to immediately try and tuck into the slipstream of Nicholas Latifi there. And yeah, we do stay out ahead of Verstappen, who has gone for a slightly different strategy at the moment. So if he starts sort of getting all over our gearbox, oh, hello. Yeah, obviously we're not going to try and hold him up, but we've also got to try and sneak our way through these other cars here, as Latifi's going to have the DRS off Aitken in front. I, however, am going to send it to the inside there. Thought I made that clear early enough on Nicholas Latifi, but apparently not. But yeah, we will now move back into P6 then of the race, and fingers crossed Verstappen can follow me by. Now all over the back of Jack Aitken at the end of that lap, just slowly trying to pick up the pieces from other cars there. As I've noticed there's a Red Bull. Is that... No, that's got to be Perez up the road there. It's not... Yeah, no, it's definitely not Russell getting lapped here. So Perez has done pretty well. I'm not sure what strategy he's on though, so perhaps we have still got to battle it out with Checo towards the end. Of course, he pit under the safety car, so he should have had a bit of an advantage, but yeah, I don't know whether he's now 3-stopping this Grand Prix or not, so perhaps Max and I still need to push Just see the extra grip even over the Williams at the moment there. It's to the outside of Callum Ilott. We'll try and swoop down around the outside on the brakes, which we will. Oh, there we go. Thank you very much. P4 now once more in this race as Perez is on a set of mediums. So is he going to try and double medium to the end? That's one of the strategies that the team recommended there, as Mick Schumacher clearly wants nothing to do with this battle. He's going to peel into the pit lane immediately. New fast lap of the Grand Prix as well. And we'll get some free DRS for our troubles. But yeah, Sergio 5 seconds up the road then. Well, I don't know what strategy he's on, but I guess the better thing to do is just try and close that gap. There we go. Zhou Guan Yu in end of lap 15, so he's probably got a one stop here. Okay. Oh yeah, we got the free DRS, didn't we? So with another new fastest lap then, as Perez, the gap now down to 3 seconds. Thinking Verstappen can get close to him as well by the end of this sort of strategy window. Stint even was the word I was looking for there. Yeah, it could still be on here, but Perez has really thrown a spanner in the works. But I think we should still have the pace and the tyre advantage later on in the day.
Okay, at the current pace, we won't have enough fuel for the end of the race. Consider adopting a more conservative strategy to preserve what you have left. It looks like we might have an issue. Hang in there, we're attempting to manage it.
Oh no. Please, no, not at this stage of the championship. We've just taken good time at Sergio Perez here. If we get a second mechanical failure of the year, this game is trying to make me lose. How's Jack Aitken gone purple? I don't know what's going on here. Russell into the pits again, as I'm just praying we don't see anything flash up on the MFD. Please, team. Please, Mercedes. Those new parts this weekend, they've given us pace.
Looks like a mechanical failure. We're going to have to ask you to find a safe spot to retire. Sorry about that. I repeat, find somewhere to retire immediately. It's too dangerous to stay on track.
It's gone.
Are you
It's
okay?
over.
That was a nasty hit.
Oh, Jeff,
Turn the
behave.
engine off and wait for the marshals.
What have I got to do on F1 2021? I thought, you know, we've gone, what, like 3 seasons without mechanical failures recently, and now suddenly 2 in, what, the last 8 races.
It's victory in Mexico then, and what a victory it is after an incredible Grand Prix. And talk to me, what do you think it was that sealed the win for them?
Well, they played the safety car to absolute perfection. There are so many factors to worry about once the race is neutralised. I mean, do you pit for fresh rubber? Do you have the space behind you? How much fuel can you save? If you answer all of those questions correctly, you'll have a good chance. And that's exactly what happened today.
Here come today's winners. The team at Red Bull have done a phenomenal job recently. It's clear to see that they've put in the work and they should be proud of the victory they secured here. Well, the gap at the top of the championship has been cut down after a difficult race today for our championship leader. Let's focus on the driver of the day, Anthony Davidson. Who do you pick?
Guan Yu Zhou gets my vote today.
It's time to check out the constructors' standings. Red Bull pull further ahead in the standings. Meanwhile, good work from Aston Martin this weekend, who pushed themselves further up the order. Well, that was certainly an incredible weekend of racing. Be sure to join myself and Ant for more exciting Formula One action soon.
What have I got to do on F1 2021 then? Luckily, I suppose, it was a good job Russell had had such a disastrous start to the race, because it did end up meaning that despite all that, he was only able to score 1 point when all is said and done. But Sergio Perez, you know, I can't be too gutted for him, you know, a win at his home Grand Prix there. But I mean, that means, yeah, Red Bull open up another 8 points in the championship when they should have been losing about 30 today. It's a bitter pill to swallow late on in the year, and it does mean, yeah, I mean, for Perez, that's completely invigorated his championship hopes, with both of his rivals basically scoring no points this weekend there. But yeah, Verstappen P2, nice to see him back on fighting form this weekend. Stroll in third ahead of both of the Alpha Towers there, with Lando Norris sneaking away the fastest lap bonus point. Both Ferraris 6th and 7th ahead of Gio Bottas, and yeah, George Russell rounding out the top 10 there. Merck did score points there with Lance Stroll. But yeah, myself, Ricciardo, and Esteban Ocon, 3 Mercedes-powered cars. I don't know whether Mercedes gave out the upgrades to the other teams there and it just hasn't worked or what. But yeah, that is not a good sign for any of us late on in the year there. Championship-wise, though, does mean it is still a 3-horse battle to the end of the year there. 4 races to go. We've still technically 1 race wins margin over George Russell at the moment. So even if things did go disastrously wrong once more, at least we know we've still got that in the back pocket there. Zhou Guanyu jumps Daniel Ricciardo, though, in the championship a little bit further down. I don't think there's any other movers, though, towards the rear of the field. Constructors-wise, though, 69 the gap up to between us and Red Bull. I think we are just going to have to accept the reality and just admit that that championship battle, unless we get a miracle, is probably well and truly done and dusted for us. But thank you all so much for watching this video nonetheless. Certainly not the way we wanted to finish here in Mexico. This track has been an absolute curse for me for most of F1 2021. But yeah, we will return very, very soon. We'll be back in Sao Paulo for the Brazilian Grand Prix. You guys do not want to miss that.
None of these videos would be possible without the help of our channel members, so a massive thank you to all of the names you see on your screens currently for helping support the channel. You can join them by clicking the join button down below, and yeah, thank you once again to everyone that continues all the insane support on my work.